Choosing a software vendor is a challenging task. When it comes down to choosing a safety supplier vendor, it becomes even more challenging. From the IT perspective, I advise you to look at these three following areas. It's going to be security, reliability, and scalability. SaaS stands for Software as a Service. It is a software delivery model which implies that you access this software through internet. That might be public internet connection, that might be VPN connection. It is the best delivery model you can ever have. You don't have to take care of any IT infrastructure, of any maintenance connected to networking, security, and so on. All you need to make sure that this connection is whitelisted and you can access it. That could be from any place from your plant. That could be from the manufacturing floor. That could be from the office. You could even use mobile and tablet devices. GDPR is General Data Protection Regulation. It is a law in the European Union that governs your data. It says how your personal information and company information must be treated. Your data needs to be stored in the region of your location. So if we're talking about a headquarters located somewhere in Europe, for instance, in Amsterdam, you would expect this data to be also stored somewhere in Europe. It might be a different country, it doesn't matter, but it must be within the European Union. When anything goes wrong, speaking about online software, we're talking about, for instance, software being unavailable. It means that you need to ensure that the software you're choosing is scalable, is resilient. It can be recovered within the shortest possible timeframes. These capabilities include disaster recovery capabilities, regular backing up, and a lot of automation. Integration of the online software with your existing IT landscape requires different types of connectivity. This integration might happen over dedicated APIs, it could be file exchanges, there are multiple options. To understand whether this specific solution that you're choosing is supporting that, please reach out to your software vendor and ensure that they do provide different types of connectivities to make sure that you can connect to different types of systems. That might be outdated systems, that might be legacy systems, or brand new ones. Everything must be connected. Speaking about software updates, we're implying that you're choosing a software vendor that delivers the software through the SaaS model. Updates and maintenance on such software happens online. It means that you don't have to connect to any specific server, download those updates, or schedule specific hours. The only thing that you need to make sure that this vendor informs you in advance. You want to be aware when the updates are coming, updates delivering new features and bug fixes, or when the maintenance work is conducted. For these operations to be smooth, you need to align with the software vendor and agree on specific timeframes. This is how you can make your own operations in the operation flow, the permitting process, and the others as smooth as possible. Questioning yourself about whether you've got what it takes to start utilizing the online software for a permitting process, for example, doesn't actually come down to whether it's enough or not enough. It comes down to the requirements your stakeholders might have. Over here, we're talking about compliance, we're talking about IT, we're talking about operations on the manufacturing plant, we're talking about multiple departments. Gather these stakeholders together, collect their input, write down those requirements, and start discussions during the vendor selecting process, which vendor can comply with these requirements. This is how you make sure that the solution chosen eventually is gonna work for you. speaking about user friendliness, we're not actually talking about IT anymore. We're talking about the product. Product specifics are super important. We're talking about domain knowledge incorporated into the product. We're talking about customization capabilities of a product. We're talking about user interfaces. We're talking about user experience. So these things mostly are not with the IT domain, but they are mostly with functional and sometimes non-functional requirements coming from different stakeholders. To make sure that a specific solution is actually a right one for you, you have to explore these capabilities with your internal stakeholders. Handling different user loads means software must be scalable. What is a scalable software? Speaking about SaaS as a preferable solution, we're talking about technical capabilities of the software to enhance its throughput. When it comes down to IT, we're talking about a lot of technical details, but at the end of the day, we're talking about just the mere capability to handle more users, issue more permits, or print more documents. Talk to your software vendor and ask, what if our load increases times 100 the other day? Would it require any additional configuration, or the software can handle it just like this? You might ask about the future. So your enterprise is evolving over time. For instance, you're planning a rollout on mobile device. How would that play out? That's one of the questions. Another question might be, does it support single sign-on? Does it support user provisioning? Does it support connectivity over legacy protocols? It could be basically anything. What you need to make sure that this partner is not just fulfilling the needs that you have right now, but it also can grow with you.